Want me to get on?
Yeah. All right. 1, 2, go.
Hey guys, a little different this week. This past Friday, I was doing a race recon, checking the course of the time trial, the Palisades time trial that will be running by Alex from Verrazano racing team. And I was obviously happy to do so, and this is the race recon. I decided to film it together with all necessary data. So as you guys can see here, I added some more data to the video that I usually don't add to the races that I'm doing. But on the top left you have the elevation, which basically can show you the ups and downs during the entire course. Now one thing you can see right away, not many flat sections that you have here. I was really surprised, even though I'm riding this course all the time when I'm going upstate to Piermont, and a lot of you guys probably doing the same. This course is not flat, it's up and down. That's the first thing. And as you guys probably just noticed when I left the starting point, where we will probably most likely start the time trial, you going downhill immediately for the first, I don't know, few hundred meters. Anyways, so it's like going down a ramp. It's you getting into speed really fast. You want to be on a high gear when you're leaving the starting line. Anyway, it caught me by surprise how hilly it is. Now mind you, when I'm doing this race recon here, I didn't want to push as hard as I thought I could. I told myself I'm gonna do it at like around 80%. But unfortunately, I don't know what happened this day. I don't know if it's the heat, if it's the fact that I trained the day before pretty hard, or I just had a day, a bad day. But pretty quick, a few minutes into the race recon, I could hardly even do the 80%. Like I saw my wattage going down and down for whatever reason, something that I'm usually capable of holding no problems, and I couldn't even hold that. Anyways, it's not about me doing well here, it's just about checking the course. So right away from the gate you can see there's a little hilly section on the beginning. It's mostly rollings really, and then there's this little climb here that takes probably, I don't know, 2-3 minutes to do, and it's pretty steep in places. You can see the gradient on the top left, I'm sorry. I think it hits somewhere around 10% at places. So from the get-go I can tell you right away, doing this course, if you are a lighter rider or a very very punchy rider that can do really high wattage for like about 3-4 minutes and then recover very well and do it again repeatedly, you're probably gonna be the rider that will do well in here. It's all about power to weight ratio here. Here's Victor taking my pictures on the left. Anyway, we're doing it on a regular Friday. The course here is open to traffic, so I didn't want to get into an aerodynamic tack and to get into my aero position, because I was pretty scared I'm going to run into a car. A lot of patches, as you can see on the road, that got fixed supposedly, but it's just creating a little, more of a bumpy road more than anything. So they patched most of the holes, but definitely not a smooth surface. And as you can see, I'm still climbing here, and we are what, almost 4 minutes into the time trial. I'm putting here around 300 watts. Soon I'm not going to be able to even do that. So looking at the top left, you have the elevation, you have the gradient. You guys can follow it. On the bottom right you can see the distance in kilometers. I'm working by kilometers because that's what I used to. And on critical sections, probably on the halfway in, which is about 4 miles, or if you like, from my perspective, 6.9 kilometers. That's where you're gonna make your U-turn. So anyway, you're done with the climb, and then you're going downhill pretty quick. You can see I'm hardly putting any wattage there on the left, but I'm doing 43, 44, 45 kilometers an hour. picking up speed really quick. You can recover here from the first initial climb that you just had, and you see how sketchy it is with the cars coming. Anyway, at that road, with that bumps in the roads, and since it was an open course, I took it a little more, you know, obviously I took it cautiously, and I was a little scared, to be honest. But still, you flying down here, 56, 60. By the way, the speed on the bottom right there wasn't accurate at all times. You can see it going up and down. I think that the satellite reception... Oh, and here's Tom, by the way. I was doing that course with Tom that went out 30 seconds after me. This guy is blowing by me. I thought it was a car at first, but he's doing it on a time trial bike. Still, that was really quick. Like, he came on from my left. I swear to God, I thought it was a car. He had a disc wheel and everything. Now, I don't know how he wasn't, you know, nervous to go on a tuck position like this on a time trial bike doing this course when it's an open, again, open for traffic. But I didn't have that that in me. Anyway, I'm doing still every bump in the road. So I figured for that race Recon here, I would just push hard up the hills a little bit, you know, around, let's say 300 or so watts. That was my plan. And on the downhill sections, I will just take it easy and recover. Overall, your time this way is supposed to be pretty good, because most of the time that you could do is actually on an uphill. On a downhill, you can recover and still pick up speed. That was my plan, anyway. Probably that's what I'll do in the race as well, but I think hopefully in the race I'll feel a little better than Friday. Maybe do a little bit better. So where are we in the race here? We are 4 kilometers to go, and soon there will be another downhill section where you're going pretty fast to almost the bottom of the course. You're going to the lowest point. You're basically going to be almost to the shore of the Hudson River. You can actually see the shore on your left, and it's a very fast descent. So anyways, almost up and down the entire course is basically, there's almost no flat in here. It's pretty deceiving when you're actually riding it. If you're all by yourself, you're not really feeling it, but from the elevation that you see on the left there, on the top left, you can pretty much realize that this race is nothing but up and down. So another little hill that I crested here, and we are now bombarding our way down the hill, and I'm gonna start picking up speed here. A little section of flat, just a little bit, and then I'm gonna start picking up speed. Alright, so while I'm picking up speed here, I usually don't go that way on the course here, and I was really surprised how fast those downhill sections could be and how steep those little hills. It's one thing when you're riding that course all by yourself and you're having fun, or you with just a group of guys basically going for a weekend ride and doing that course as part of a time trial where you have to go all out, because on that uphill sections it is really hurting, and then you are really starting to feeling it, let's put it this way, like any other time trial where you have to go all out. You're feeling it probably 5 to 10 minutes into the effort. It's starting to really burn, and you need to obviously pace yourself correctly. So it might have been something that I actually that I did wrong here on that particular day. Again, because soon you're gonna see my water just keep on going down. Even right now I'm doing like 250, and I'm probably feeling it. So a little flat section, again, you don't have many of those, and we're gonna go downhill to the lowest point of the course, and then uphill to the halfway. I gotta say, it's a beautiful course and very challenging. So all of you guys, this is an opportunity for any rider here around the New York City. We didn't have a time trial for a long time. It's an opportunity to show yourself and really put yourself against the clock. This is what you call the race of truth, right? It's you against the clock. You need to learn how to pace yourself correctly. I'm just gonna stop here for a second. We are now approaching to the lowest point on the course, and now we are starting climbing. So this is another climb that you have to crest to the halfway, and then you're gonna make a U-turn. Anyways, what I wanted to say is we didn't have a time trial like that around the New York City for a long time, and this is a dedicated time trial. It's not part of a series, it's not part of a road racing and then you have a crit in the afternoon. This is a test between you and yourself, basically. And I love these kind of races. I wish it was a little flatter, because me and my heavy frame, probably I wouldn't do as well as I could on a flatter course. But anyway, I would love to do it. This is something I wanted to do for a long time. I'm gonna do the non-time trial equipment race. Basically, I don't have a time trial bike. I sold mine a few years back. So I'm just gonna come as if it's a road race. It's just me against the clock, and I want to see how good I can do all by myself and pacing myself correctly, which is, as any other time trial, critical. Anyway, what am I doing here? Almost 300 watts, not even. At that point of the course, that particular day on Friday, I really felt it. So keep on going up, and we almost making it now to the halfway. And here is Tom, making his way back already. He passed me like 5 minutes into the race. That's really crazy. Anyway, almost making it to the halfway, and I'm really breathing heavy in the background. You probably can hear that. So the U-turn will be before, as you can see here, there's a little island here on the road, and the U-turn will be somewhere around here. And after that hard little climb that you just had for 2-3 minutes, you can finally rest and recover as much as you can on the downhill section here. So as you saw, probably it's 6.9 kilometers, or if you want, around 4 miles into the race, you're making a U-turn and you blasting down that hill. I'm picking up speed. Pick up as much speed as you can, be as aero as you can. Here's Lisa, just passed that she's going to the halfway point as well. And pick up the momentum. Oh, that was sketchy. This car was passing this cyclist on the left here. Didn't leave me a lot of room. Anyway, you're picking up a speed here, and then you're getting into the flat section again. From that point on, you're starting pushing. So my way of looking at that race, downhills is the time where you're recovering. Uphill is where you want to push, probably above threshold. I don't know how fast the winner will do it, and it also depends if we're talking about the time trial guys or the one that doing it on road races. But probably the time trial guys will do it close. The winner will probably do it close to 20 minutes or even less. You know, if you're a light rider and very strong, depends how strong you are, you can probably do it around 20 minutes, which is, it's very fast. On a road bike, closer also to, maybe again, I wouldn't be surprised if a strong guy will do it in 20 minutes and the time trial guy will do it in even less than that, but more realistically around 22, 23, 24 minutes. So for that time frame on the course, you can push a little bit more than your threshold, okay? But you need to know how to lay the watts, you know, on the course the right way. So again, you're making the most time when you're going up the hill. So as opposed to training where you're trying to, you know, a lot of times in training you're trying to keep your wattage steady. When it's racing and it's a race time and speed or time is all that matter, On the critical sections, the uphill sections, is where you want to put the most effort. So this is what I try to do here, and my so-called 80% effort felt like 120% effort for whatever reason. I have no idea why. When I finished the race recon, I decided to go back home, to ride back home on a bike, and I swear to God, I couldn't hardly push 100 watts all the way back home from Palisades Park. So something happened. I was empty. I was basically I had a day off that day. Not a good day for whatever reason. But anyways, another climb, as you can see. Look at that, the gradient, 7%. These are not easy when you're going all out and you're putting all these efforts. I mean, if you're looking at it, you know, if you are dividing that race, that sections, elevation there, where you really have to push hard, you're basically doing 1 to 3 minutes of all-out effort and even above threshold, and then you're resting, and then you're repeating it again and again and again. And it's almost, when you're looking at your power profile, it will probably look close to almost a very surgy road race, or if you want, almost like a criterium profile. It's very hard and also not advisable, like I said before, to keep your wattage very steady here. You're not gonna do well if you're just keeping your wattage very steady. You have to go all out. I mean, not all out. Let me rephrase it. You want to put a little harder than threshold effort when you're going uphill, and then recover. As you can see here, I'm going downhill now. It's a little flatter section, but soon I'm going to go downhill. I'm basically coasting, and recover on the downhill. That's my take on it. That's what I think. There's a little art to it. You want to know when you can push or want to push more in order to create that momentum when you're going downhill, and recover when the gradient really starting to, you know, carry your momentum without you having to push wattage. It's something that you're learning over the years. Obviously, every experienced bike rider know it, but once you're getting good at it, that's my point. At that course, because it's so there's no flat sections here, it will be impossible or not advisable to keep it steady. Just keep it steady, you know, certain watts for the entire course here. Anyway, again, we're on a flatter section here, the small little flatter, before we are getting into that little nasty climb right before the end, 10 kilometers into the race. And I'm feeling it really well here. It's really hard for me again at that. You know what? Let's not concentrate at what I did that day. It was it was really bad, pretty bad in my point of view. At least how I felt. I mean, the wattage was, you know, maybe it was 80%, but the way I felt was really bad. Anyway, what else can I tell you about the course? I love it. Very challenging. Please note, for all the potholes and the little, you know, sections where they fix the road, it will be a little bumpy. If you're getting into your aero position, always look forward. Don't hide your head and you know, without looking at the course, because one little mistake and you can fly into the rocks, or God forbid, to the right side of the course right now. There's a cliff there. You definitely don't want to do it. Always look at the course. And that's it. And have fun, man. Have fun. Time trials is a lot of fun. Be safe. Enjoy. It's a great course. Anyway, we're getting into the uphill section. And again, I was so surprised looking at the race, at the recorded race after I'd done doing it. Look at this. Look at the gradient on the top left there. 9, 8%, 7%. I didn't imagine this course have these gradients. Again, they're punchy climbs, but you can definitely feeling it when you're doing a time trial. It's an all together, it's a different animal than just riding it as part of a training ride. like I said before. You all of a sudden realize, okay, I need to crest that hill as fast as I can without burning myself completely. You always on the edge, and every little climb like this, every climb that takes, I don't know, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, hurts like hell. So again, look, 8%. I really felt that day, and I'm probably gonna feel it even worse on the time trial day. All right, we're almost crossing it. I would say probably at that point you want to almost look at it as if you are pushing for the finish line. You try to basically finish that climb because you have such a, you can see on the profile again on the top left there, you're gonna have such a big downhill, very fast downhill section which you can recover at. You can gain a lot of time if you still have anything in the tank here. You want to push here at that climb here and probably finish it as fast as you can, and then recover on the downhill and carry your momentum into the end of the course, to the little rolling section. As you can see, that is the end of the course. Here you're getting into a flat section which lasts very, I don't know, it's very short. The flatter section of the race. I'm trying to recover even here because again at that day I had a bad day, to remind you. But here you want to really put a little sprint, create a momentum. Once you're crossing that little hill here, I don't know how long did it take me, I didn't take time, but it's probably took me around 3 minutes, I'll say. And here is the steep downhill section where you can see I'm doing 0 watts here. Probably in a race you want to push here to create that momentum and from that section on you basically resting, you're recovering as much as you can, right? And you flying downhill. And try to carry that momentum into the rolling section right before the finish line. And then you have a little nasty climb, just very short as you can see at the end there. Again, at the end of a time trial where you're getting into the 20 plus minutes. That hurt. That really hurts. Okay, I'm bombarding my way down, probably doing closer to 50 plus 60 kilometers an hour. I don't think again the clock on the right here, I wouldn't trust it. That's not 38 kilometers an hour, not 35. Here you're gonna see soon I'm gonna get off the trees and the speed will pick up again. Alright, we're getting into that little rolling section here, 40 kilometers. Alright, so we're getting into the little rolling section. Probably here after you rested a little bit you want to get back to your threshold around, I'll say. If you still have anything in you at that point, go back to your threshold and leave yourself just a little sprint to the end, because it's a little uphill. It's a little uphill ending to the course there. You can see it on the elevation map on the left there. So this is like a rolling section right to the end of the course. I'm not doing my threshold here. I'm hardly doing 200 watts because I'm dying. But optimally here you want to get into your aero position, be as aero as possible, get into your threshold wattage. I mean, hold it as much as you can. We are almost at the end here. It is 13.2, 13.3 kilometers. And this is the little sting in the tail, so to speak, a little uphill section. And we are almost over. So at that point, right before the end of the race here, the course, we have the last bit here. You want to sprint and empty the tank and give it everything you have. It looks like it's about to be over, but it's not yet. And a little push and we are done. The finish line will be around here. So with me recovering in the background, I'm gonna leave you guys with some more data for you to take a look at. I'm sure you can do you guys can do better than my poor performance on Friday. But come race it, guys. I'm gonna leave a link on the description down below for the registration page on Bike Reg. So check it out, and I hope to see you guys at the race. Till next time.